You are listening to JosuBroadcast, episode number 4. Are hobbies important? Welcome to my podcast, where there are good vibes, love, and it's only for nice people like you. In today's episode, I'll give my opinion if whether we should keep hobbies or quit hobbies. Yesterday I was looking for an interesting topic about hobbies for the next episode. And you know what? I found it. I read this quote: "If you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life," by Confucius. I wondered, is this telling me I can earn money without working? Can someone become rich from a hobby? Is a hobby the purpose of life? After thinking about it for a few minutes, my answer is yes. To understand that, we need to answer the following questions. What is the purpose of life? What is a hobby? What does being rich mean? Let's go one by one. Number 1. What is a hobby? It's an activity that we do for fun in our free time, like singing, painting, cooking, exercising, playing video games, having a garden, and so on. But according what we feel while doing that activity, the hobby can either be good or bad. I'll consider a good hobby something that makes me feel passion, something I can do it every day for many hours and I never get tired, because it feels like I'm learning and I can use that knowledge to work one day. I always say, my hobbies must help me develop something. I talk about how you can use your hobby as a resource to learn a language on episode 3. It's very interesting. What about a bad hobby? That's what makes you feel stressed, and you do it because other people do it. My friendly advice is, do what you like and makes you feel comfortable. There are plenty of hobbies out there, just pick one. Now, question number 2. What is the purpose of life? This is what gives us motivation every day. It's the first thing that comes to our mind every morning. Of course, it doesn't necessarily have to be a hobby. It could be our goals or a profession. Being honest, it depends on each point of view we have. And each point of view depends on our values. You see, one thing leads to another, but we are not here to talk about values. Wait, this is a great idea for a future episode. Values and hobbies. Let's move to question number 3. What does being rich mean? The first thing that comes to my mind when I think about being rich is having a big house with a fancy living room and kitchen, having an expensive car and a lot of money to spend in parties, because that's what we see on social media, right? That's what we learn from internet. But in reality, or at least the way I see it, being rich means having one strength we like that makes us money to survive the daily basics. Being rich means using that one strength anytime we want to get money without having a boss. Just then, we can consider ourselves rich. Now that we answered those previous questions, let's go back to the quote. If you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. In a nutshell, we can earn money from one hobby because it's something we love. However, it requires to be a professional. Per se, you like baseball. It requires to focus only on that sport until you become a professional. No matter the age, you are never too old to follow your dream. You can either be a coach or a player in your own league. And the same applies for other hobbies. Another example may be, some people see having a garden as a hobby. They can grow vegetables that they may share to their neighbors. They may find the purpose of life by sharing and loving. See, a hobby can become the purpose of our lives. But don't get me wrong. Life is not a game. Life is difficult. There are always ups and downs. I would recommend to have a backup. Not just believe a hobby is all we need. It's good to learn a profession too. Don't quit your job nor school. Talking about my own experience, sometimes I feel like I have too many hobbies, but I cannot stop doing them. I like watching movies and series, which I use to practice English every day. Also, I like chess, video games, and exercising. I believe those are very important as watching movies and series, because playing chess is something I enjoy doing alone. Playing video games is what I do with friends or family, and doing exercise is what I use to release stress and anxiety. When I used to work, I didn't have time to watch movies and series, so I couldn't learn more English. There was no time to play chess nor video games. I got used to lost friends. I couldn't do exercise as I wanted, and I am the kind of person who exercises at least 4 times a week. In my case, the only way I see to make money with hobbies is becoming a coach in chess or an English teacher to keep practicing English. Make a list of your hobbies if you have. Can you quit a hobby? Tell me how. Do you think hobbies are bad or good? And that's it. Thank you for listening and have a nice day. Thank you for listening to this episode. This podcast is available on Spotify and Google Podcast. You can find me on all social media like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube as JosuBroadcast. I have TikTok and Instagram, but I use them to share short videos about each episode. See you then.